Muito bom dia a todos, sejam então bem-vindos a este webinar. Eu sou Isabel Gurjão Santos, da AICEP. Esta é uma sessão organizada pela AICEP e em colaboração com a Câmara de Comércio e Indústria Luso-Alemã. Hoje vamos falar da plataforma digital de e-Procurement Mercateo, a sua presença nos mercados da Alemanha, França e Espanha. Esta plataforma tem cerca de 1 milhão de clientes empresariais, agrega mais de 16 mil fabricantes, está presente em 14 países e possui uma oferta em áreas tão diversas como os consumíveis, mobiliário de escritório, informática, consumíveis hospitalares ou equipamento de hotelaria, material de restauração, enfim, uma vasta gama de produtos. Vamos falar sobre como este marketplace pode ser um canal de distribuição complementar para os fornecedores portugueses e por isso temos connosco os delegados da AICEP em 3 mercados, onde o Mercato tem presença. Dou desde já os bons dias a Miguel Crespo em Berlim, Eduardo Henriques em Paris e Luís Moura em Madrid, que farão no início deste webinar uma breve apresentação e que no final estarão obviamente disponíveis para responder às vossas perguntas. Antes de lhes passar a palavra, eu diria apenas algumas notas. O webinar vai ser gravado, dura cerca de 1 hora. As câmaras e os microfones vão estar desligados ao longo das apresentações e no final haverá o tal período de perguntas e respostas, pelo que podem, desde já, ir colocando as questões no chat público que se encontra no canto inferior esquerdo do vosso ecrã. Eu deixei propositadamente para o fim a apresentação do nosso convidado da Mercateo. Temos o prazer de ter connosco Steffen Hammerla, responsável pela gestão de fornecedores internacionais desta plataforma, que nos vai explicar o seu funcionamento e as vantagens para as empresas portuguesas. A sua apresentação será em inglês e por isso eu passo agora também para inglês. Good morning, Steffen Hammerla. I just made an introduction, a very brief introduction about this webinar and some logistical remarks. It's really a pleasure to have you here, and I think a great opportunity for the Portuguese companies. And now, I give the floor to the director of AICEP in Germany, Miguel Crespo. We can start with you. Bom dia, Miguel Crespo.
Bom dia a todos, obrigado Isabel. Hoje o palco é inteiramente para a Mercato e para o Steffen Hammerla. Esta apresentação começou a ser cozinhada há 2 anos, quando eu descobri o que era a Mercato, e desde então temos tido um namoro que se conclui agora aqui. É um marketplace dominante no espaço germânico, que é bom de ver que é, neste momento, considerando Áustria e Suíça, um mercado culturalmente diferente, mas é o maior mercado da União Europeia. Portanto, as nossas empresas que têm seguido o seu processo de internacionalização paulatino, é chegado o momento de olharem com maior atenção para o mercado germânico e este é um desafio que uns estão em condições de agarrar de imediato, outros seguramente seguirão. Calha o caso de que nós, a AICEP, trabalhamos em rede, trabalhamos no espaço económico europeu de forma articulada entre as diversas delegações, motivo pelo qual a Mercato está num estado não tão avançado, mas em França e em Espanha, e se calhar é até o degrau imediato mais fácil para as empresas portuguesas começarem a descobrir as potencialidades do marketplace B2B. Termino no sentido que estamos aqui em Berlim, como noutras delegações, ao vosso dispor para aprofundar mais nos conhecimentos dos vossos mercados específicos, mas está aqui uma plataforma bastante interessante para entrarem no mercado. Aliás, para terminar, verdadeiramente diria isto. Ao longo destes 12 meses de Covid, contactámos várias empresas portuguesas que têm escritórios comerciais aqui na Alemanha. Já estão há mais de 10 anos em muitos dos casos cá presentes. A característica do mercado alemão é a da enorme estabilidade. Portanto, mesmo em tempos de Covid, genericamente houve crescimento da atividade. E é nesse aspecto que fica aqui o convite para que olhem com maior atenção para este bloco económico muito expressivo. Muito obrigado.
Muito obrigada, Miguel. Eu passo agora, se calhar, para o Eduardo Henriques, que de Paris dá-nos também uma perspectiva de França.
Ok, muito obrigado. Bom dia a todos. Bom, eu acho que o mais importante a destacar aqui, independentemente do mercado, é dar aqui uma pequena pincelada sobre aquilo que é a situação do mercado francês nesta área, para que todos vejam o potencial que existe e o Mercateo pode ser um instrumento para aproveitar esse elan que existe no mercado francês. Só alguns números que eu gostava de partilhar com todos, que têm a ver com a evolução recente do comércio online B2B. Só para terem uma noção, em França o mercado vale quase 800 mil milhões de euros este ano, 2020. É um número colossal. É um crescimento de 50% nos últimos 3 anos. Só no último trimestre do ano, ou melhor, no terceiro trimestre do ano, não é bem o último, o comércio B2B cresceu 21%. Mais os compradores interrogados, enfim, os grandes compradores do mercado francês interrogados sobre se tencionavam aumentar as compras online, 75% disseram que sim. Ou seja, é uma tendência perfeitamente identificada, é uma tendência perfeitamente lógica e, mais do que isso, é uma tendência muito e muito crescente. E se repararem, é transversal a todos os setores de atividade. Portanto, é muito curioso e o Mercateo aí tem algumas vantagens porque é uma plataforma também ela muito transversal, portanto abrange muitas áreas de atividade e se olharem para o mercado de França é exatamente essa a tendência, ou seja, existe uma noção de que este é um segmento que cresce, há interesse por parte dos compradores em utilizar estas ferramentas para conseguirem melhorar o seu posicionamento no mercado. Só uma última nota, relativamente ainda a grandes números do mercado, é que, como eu dizia há pouco, a transversalidade é total. Foi feito um inquérito no último mês do ano a vários setores de atividade e, curiosamente, perante a pandemia, toda a gente, nos vários setores, diz a mesma coisa. Vamos aumentar as encomendas e-commerce, B2B. Esse será o canal essencial, será um canal a crescer e, se repararem, desde a agricultura, ao comércio grossista, à saúde, à construção, à indústria, ao setor público, curiosamente, todos, maioritariamente, dizem que querem utilizar este canal para aumentar as suas vendas. Portanto, é claramente uma aposta e, portanto, eu acho que é interessante que o Mercateo esteja hoje connosco para exatamente poder ser esse instrumento para que as empresas portuguesas possam aproveitar as boas condições do mercado francês, neste caso. Só uma última nota, porque eu acho que é importante que também, enfim, independentemente daquilo que vamos apresentar hoje, a AICEP tem um programa organizado já há algum tempo, que eu acho que é bom que todas as empresas possam conhecer, que é o programa Exportar Online. Este é um capítulo do programa Exportar Online. O Exportar Online é um programa da AICEP que tem várias componentes, desde a capacitação, desde o diagnóstico online, que é uma ferramenta de diagnóstico online que nós temos para perceber o grau de maturidade e de preparação das empresas para o comércio online. Temos também um outro instrumento que é a consultoria personalizada. Temos também informação sobre o marketplaces. Temos parcerias com marketplaces e este é um caso concreto, o do Mercateo. Portanto, há todo um pacote de medidas que a AICEP tem ao vosso dispor e que eu acho que é fundamental que todos aproveitem e que possam aproveitar. E o convite fica feito aqui. Este é um programa da AICEP, portanto, abrange todos os mercados, não abrange só estes mercados que estão aqui em causa hoje, mas acho que é uma plataforma interessante e um instrumento interessante para que todos possam aproveitar. Muito obrigado.
Obrigada, Eduardo. Imagino que essa aposta e essa tendência referida em França seja também uma característica em Espanha. Bom dia, Luís Moura. Uma perspectiva de Espanha também e uma introdução a este nosso debate.
Bom dia a todos. Espanha é um mercado próximo, é o nosso primeiro mercado de exportação. É um mercado que muitas empresas portuguesas abordam desde Portugal, com algumas deslocações ao mercado, deslocações físicas, mas a verdade é que a pandemia veio mostrar que às vezes é preciso encontrar formas alternativas. Essas deslocações, mesmo curtas, mesmo próximas, às vezes são impossíveis e, portanto, é bom nós começarmos também neste mercado a explorar outras vias, não é? E, portanto, aqui entra toda esta questão do comércio eletrónico, tanto o B2B como o B2C. O comércio eletrónico em Espanha, em 2019, ainda antes de chegar a pandemia, superou os 26 milhões de compradores. E um volume de transações que também superou os 48 mil milhões de euros, um aumento de 25% relativamente ao ano anterior, a 2018. Agora, já em 2020, portanto, o ano da pandemia, a Espanha foi o terceiro mercado que mais cresceu em todo o mundo em termos de transações online, só superado pela Argentina e por Singapura. Depois, durante as campanhas do Black Friday e do Cyber Monday, o e-commerce cresceu 20% relativamente ao ano anterior, o que confirma que este crescimento, que poderia estar associado a períodos de confinamento e de mobilidade limitada, são crescimentos que vieram para ficar. A campanha de Natal, pela primeira vez, o comércio eletrónico já superou o físico, representando 65% das intenções de compra, face a apenas 50% no ano passado. Os produtos mais comercializados foram o vestuário, a eletrónica, os sapatos, a cultura, os livros, a música, os filmes e os produtos de cosmética. Em termos de tendências no B2B, os nossos interlocutores aqui no mercado chamam a atenção para a vantagem deste género de plataformas, de projetos agregadores que podem simplificar o dia-a-dia das empresas fornecedoras. Isto porque unificam a gestão dos vários marketplaces numa única plataforma e, portanto, reduzem os custos de gestões individualizadas de cada pequeno marketplace ou de cada pequeno site. No B2C, realmente um grande crescimento do storytelling, na diferenciação do produto e um aumento cada vez maior do peso dos influencers. Portanto, vamos ver, é um mercado que também está a evoluir muito, Espanha. É um mercado que as empresas portuguesas abordavam de uma determinada maneira e que a pandemia veio aqui impor, realmente, veio chamar a atenção para a necessidade de diversificar essas abordagens ao mercado. A delegação em Madrid, a delegação em Barcelona, estamos à vossa disposição para dar aqui todo o apoio que necessitem. E, portanto, espero que tenham uma jornada satisfatória, produtiva e ficamos ao vosso dispor depois para todos os follow-ups que forem necessários aqui localmente. Muito obrigado.
Muito obrigada. Eu recordo aos participantes que estão disponíveis, antes de mais, para responder às perguntas dos nossos participantes no final desta sessão e que podem e devem ir colocando as questões desde já, tendo o chat ao vosso dispor. And now we're going to listen to Mercato and I give the floor to Steffen Hammerla. Please, you can start your presentation. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Perfect. First of all, let me thank you for being here and give me the opportunity to talk about Mercateo. Yes, we have got a high diversity of participants. I hope everybody is getting some useful information after my presentation, and I know we have got there are a lot of different participants, so maybe you get all the information you expect, hopefully. My name is Steffen Hammerla. I'm responsible for supplier management at Mercateo, the international supplier management. And today, yes, I want to give you a short overview about our business model and the opportunities to become maybe a supplier of Mercateo in the different countries. So let's have a look on the agenda. First of all, some words about Mercateo in general, about our two brands. Then I will jump to the Mercateo shop model more in detail. What is the potential? What is the idea behind the business, the Mercateo shop? Then let's have a closer look on how to become a Mercateo supplier, what requirements we have. And then let's talk about maybe some possible next steps. And then we are ready and open for any questions you have. So Mercateo Group, as you can here see under the how can I say umbrella of the Mercateo group, there are two brands, Mercateo Shop. On the one hand, you can see on the left side, and Unite on the right side. And Unite is a kind of, how can I say, infrastructure on which different business relationships between customers and suppliers can be handled directly. We as Mercateo do not appear there as a trader, but only provide the digital infrastructure. So we are an pure IT company. Today, we want to focus just on Mercateo shop. So we see on the left side here we act as a classic online B2B retailer for standardized items. It's important to say B2B. We don't have any private customers like Amazon or eBay or other marketplaces. It's only B2B business, and it's only for standardized items. Okay. So some facts and figures. We were founded in Munich 20 years ago. Our focus market was the German market. Last year we realized 346 million revenue all over the countries. And yes, of course, most of them we generated in Germany. We have got over 100,000 active business customers all over the countries, a lot of suppliers in the background, and we are located in 14 different countries. So this slide shows our development in the recent years. Not to go go too much in detail. We place a lot of attention on growing in a healthy way, not in a crazy way. To say, okay, we grow from 500 employees or 100 employees in another year to 5,000. We have a few investors in the background. Some of them have been with us for 20 years, but we generate our growth only from the money we earn. It's a healthy growth, and it's very important for us. So these are the countries where we are located. Today, our focus is on the German market and France and Spain. It doesn't mean that we can also talk about all the other countries after this meeting in a personal way. But today, our focus is on these three markets. Okay, this, not crazy, but interesting diagram. I use it to show the customer's point of view. It helps to show how a lot of medium and large customers use Mercateo. It's not a typical online shop. On the epsilon axis shows the order volume from the customer point of view, and the x-axis shows the number of suppliers the customer has. And on the left side, you will find the suppliers who have a framework agreement with this customer. This means a few suppliers generate a high order volume. These are the most important items for this customer. They need it every day and in a high value. And going on the right side, you will find many suppliers with a very, very low and unrepeating order volume. These orders are very expensive in terms of the process and in relation to the item price. And they are often one-time requirements for the customers, and they have to create new creditors in the system, and this is a lot of effort. So the idea is, on the right side, Mercateo is the distributor who bundles these requirements for the customer, so that this customer only have one creditor in the system for a lot of different suppliers for not so often necessary items. This is our business model. We are a very big creditor for our customer to bundle all the tiny suppliers in the background. So this is exactly what I said. It's named indirect spend, accounts for 20% of the purchase volume, but costs 80% of the process costs. So the goal is to minimize the process, not the item price or the purchase volume by themselves. So here is it described more in detail? You can get the presentation afterwards, I think, and then you can have a closer look on that in detail, or if there are any questions, we can do that in a personal way, I think. Okay, some benefits from the customer sides regarding our platform. As I said, it's saving time for indirect spend, reduce the costs, especially the maverick buying, to have everything in a digital way. This is the goal from the customer side, and we bundle this on our platform as a distributor and also as an IT company to digitize all the process behind them. So let's jump to Mercateo, and what does it mean as a marketplace or e-procurement platform? I'm sure each of you has already seen, this is basically what our shop looks like. The structure is the same in every country, and only the assortment and the suppliers in the background are different. But that's it. It's the same in Spain like it is in Germany, but with other number of items and, as I said, suppliers in the background. Here you can see our customer structure well, and you can see that there is no focus group of Mercateo. Basically, every customer group buys on Mercateo, and this graphic is to show the diversity of our customers. There's no special target group from our point of view. There's a very, very high diversity all over the categories and customer structures. And it looks always the same in the countries. It's not a typical a German picture. It's all over the countries the same picture. So I think this is a very interesting slide for you to show, okay, what could be the potential, or what is the situation in the different markets regarding Mercateo. I would like to give you a short insight into the three markets: France, Spain, and Germany, and what the potential these markets have for suppliers, and what is the different development status of these countries. As you can certainly see, Germany is the largest market for Mercateo. There are several reasons for that. One reason is that Mercateo has been in Germany for 20 years. So this is our key focus market with 20 years experience. So that's it. And we have been in Spain and France, or we haven't been in Spain and France for so long. This means that we are not yet as well known there as we are in Germany. So we are at the not early beginning, but at the beginning regarding France and Spain. And we need to increase the range of products in order to win more customers and before to win more suppliers. So what does it mean in detail, especially for France and Spain? Here you can see quite well the situation in France and Spain at the category level. We still have gaps in the product range in most of the categories, and we are looking for a high potential suppliers there. And hopefully you see your own category to say, okay, I'm, for example, an occupational safety supplier, and I see in Spain there's only one supplier in the background, so maybe there is a good chance to fill the gap and get in touch with us talking about that. We know the Spanish market, for example, is not the biggest one in the Mercateo world, but it's a good chance for you probably to be a kind of early bird and to help us to develop and to look in the future and not in the back. Okay. So for short, what is the idea of Mercateo Shop? As I said, Mercateo acts as an online distributor, as an online B2B distributor in relation to the customers, And an important point is we have no warehouse. It's a classic drop shipment model. So it's really relevant that our suppliers have got a high logistic competence, because we don't have any warehouse, we don't have any logistic. It's drop shipment. So your key performance should be the logistic. And what does it mean? The suppliers deliver directly to our customers, but on behalf of Mercateo. And then the supplier sent the invoice not to the customer. The supplier sent the invoice to Mercateo. So the supplier only has Mercateo as one customer, but with a lot of delivery addresses in the background. And Mercateo by themselves sent the respective invoices to the customer. This is the model On this slide, I mapped it out a little bit in a very simple way, only to explain it for short. Starting on the right side, you see the customer side. The customers search for items on the Mercateo platform and order them from us as Mercateo, and we order the items from supplier with a request to please, dear supplier, deliver the items directly to our customer address. And then the supplier does not send the relevant invoice to the customer, but instead they send the invoice to Mercateo, to us. And then we send the invoice to the customer. And yes, that's it. The invoice from the supplier to Mercateo contains the purchase price, our purchase price, and the invoice from Mercateo to the customer contains the sales price, which is also shown on our Mercateo shop. And the difference between purchase and sales price is, it's our earned money, for short. This is a closer look on the details. On the right side, you can the customer is looking for a pen, for example, and you can see we have got in this case 3 suppliers in the background, but it's not important for the customer. The customer only wants to have this pen and put it into the basket. Maybe he's also looking for copy paper. Here, as you can see, we have one pre-supplier in the background, and then he puts the items also in the basket. And the most relevant point is then we have got an algorithm which decides which supplier is selected. It means we call it best basket, and in the best basket is the best combination of, for sure the price, but the number of packages, the delivery time, and the shipping costs. It's really relevant in B2B business to not only to optimize the price, it's also relevant to optimize the number of packages, and also the delivery time is more important than it is in B2C. Sometimes you need the item tomorrow, and it doesn't matter how expensive it is. So, and our algorithm creates the best combination of them. But the customer has got, can choose in a manual way their own focus. Maybe it's more important to have the cheapest items, so they can switch to the best price or to the best delivery times or whatever. But default, we have got this algorithm making the best combination, and then the algorithm decides, depending on the best basket, on the basket, which suppliers is getting the order. So here are some advantages for you. As I said, Mercateo bundles new different customer groups for the supplier and can convert them into one attractive major customer. You are we are one customer for you, and we have got a lot of small, medium, and large customers in the background for you as a delivery address, and we are one customer and one sales channel for our suppliers. And you are our logistic and our warehouse. So it's a win-win situation, hopefully. And yes, as I said, for the customer saving times, they have got a wide range of products with a lot of suppliers in the background, and we bundle that and optimize the process and digitize. So yeah, what does it mean, or how to become a Mercateo supplier, and how does it work? Our primary goal is not just to have a pre-supplier who deliver only to our customers in the background and that's it. This is not our business model. What we want is to have long-term partnerships with our suppliers. This is our primary goal. This means that for each category we look for long-term suppliers that we can develop together within a strategic way. Maybe we start in Germany and then we develop, or we go out to the other countries, and this is not only to be our pre-supplier. You can be a supplier on Mercateo only for one country or for different countries, or of course you in the future you could be a part of our Unite network, not to be our supplier, to be a supplier of our customers which are on our Unite network. It's another topic, not the topic for today. But this is our primary goal. We have got partnerships and not a typical supplier and customer relationship. And this is and that is also separates us from other marketplaces. So here are some requirements. You have to know that there are differences between the markets. In Germany, the requirements are very strict because it's a very high and competitive marketplace with a lot of big customers in the background, and they need the Mercateo delivery node, and they need this and this and this. And in France, it's sometimes not so strict, or in Spain, because we are at the early beginning and we say, okay, let's start with that, and then we can develop together, and maybe in the future you also have the Mercateo delivery node or whatever. So what is necessary, unfortunately, what could be good to have a company or a subsidiary in the different countries. This is some of the biggest requirements we have. Also to ship with a Mercateo delivery node. In Germany, this is very strict. In France and Spain, it's negotiable and depends on the situation. And of course, we need competitive shipping conditions and a competitive price structure. This is normal business, and that's what we talk about. And this is not, how can I say, written in stone. We can start, and then we can see what could be a good price structure and what could be a good shipping costs. We will see and develop together. And you get a lot of figures and reports, and then we can analyze what could be a good idea or not. And what is also important to be comply with the legal requirements in the different countries. So you have to know what is necessary to make business in Spain regarding your items and regarding the legal requirements. It's not our business to know what is necessary for millions of items from a very high diversity of categories. We have no chance. Check that. So it's yours. It's yours. So I saw that a lot of companies here are not located in Spain and France and Germany. So for me, it's important to explain why it is so important for us to do that. The most important thing is that in all the European countries, manufacturers and distributors are responsible for taking back and recycling the products they put into the market at the first distributor. And there are different reporting procedures in each country which are also implemented in a different way. And we as Mercateo cannot guarantee this for all the different reporting procedures and all the countries and all the categories and millions of items. We have no chance to do that as a trader and distributor. Our requirement is, as a result of that you need a company in the countries to guarantee that you realize these reporting procedures for your products. This is the reason why we decided to say, okay, we need local suppliers in the background. But on the other hand, I talked with Miguel and then discussed, okay, what could be a good idea for potential suppliers which are not located in the different countries. And one way could be that there are several service providers who takes over the reporting requirements for the supplier to say, okay, I'm not located, for example, in France, but I want to make business via Mercateo in France, and maybe I use the Chamber of Commerce and Industry as a service provider to make sure that all the relevant reports are done. So maybe this could be a chance to do that, but we have to talk about that in person. But there are ways we can do. So I want to inform you in this way, only for short. But the best way is to have a company in the different countries. So. And the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it's not only for France. They also do that for all the not all, but most of the European countries. So selling with Mercateo is very simple. Yes, when we decided to make business together, and then it's quite easy. We have a framework agreement at the beginning. It's normal business. Then we have got a registration sheet to fill in your company dates. Then you have to upload an electronic catalog, and then we go online and you can sell your products via our platform. But you can you become you get a reporting from us on what is the competition regarding your product, and what is your price structure and what could be a potential, and then we do business together. It's not so complicated, but at first we have a pre-selection. We don't go online with all the suppliers. We need a very good logistic and a background for each categories, and then we create a partnership for this category, and then that's it for us. And we want to develop the partnership and not go bring a lot of suppliers online, and not to fill in all the supplier range we have all over Europe. This is not our strategy. So talking about the costs, it's also important for potential suppliers, I know. We have got only costs in Germany. There is a fixed onboarding fee. It depends a little bit on the category. It means, for example, hard and software is the most relevant area. So with a lot of items, and so we have got 10,000 euros fixed, and and in other categories which are a little bit smaller, especially thinking of the potential, we take 3,000 euros. And it's also the same meaning for the monthly fee. In France and Spain, we don't have any fees. As I said, we are at the not early, but early beginning, and we want to develop the market. And it's not a good idea to have such fees, to say, okay, but the potential at the moment is not so big like it is in Germany, but you have to pay for that in the same way like you do in Germany. It doesn't make sense. Yes, it is an effort to create the different catalogs also for Spain and France, but for us it's an investigation. We do that, but we don't write an invoice. So here, it's important to show some opportunities for manufacturers. The slides before, I only talked about how to become a supplier in a logistic way, and maybe there are some manufacturers without any logistic, but some manufacturers wants to bring their brand in new markets, maybe to be to make marketing in the German market or in France or Spain. So there's a possibility to say, okay, you don't have any logistic. Maybe you can get in touch with existing suppliers we have to handle your items, but we have got a lot of marketing possibilities for you as a manufacturer to show your brand on our platform. So maybe this could also an idea to make business with us without any logistic in the background, maybe. So here are some warm words from some manufacturers. Everybody likes us. No, but it's a good way to grow in an international way for different brands, to say, okay, I'm presented in the markets, and then we will see what happens, and we will create new partnerships in the background, thinking of the logistic and the distributors Mercateo has. So what could be the next steps? I think, especially thinking of the fact that there's a high diversity of participants here in the background. Maybe there are some open questions we maybe could better discuss in person. So do not hesitate to contact me directly. I will coordinate all the contacts between supplier and or potential suppliers and the countries and our supplier managers to give you all the information you need, and then we go step by step if you want. And hopefully we at the end of the day we have we can make business together. But this could be my proposal for you. Please get in touch with me, and then I will coordinate it. And then maybe when you need more information, we can do it in a person way, if you want. So that's it from my side.
Thank you very much. We already have about a dozen questions. I hope we have time to answer all of them. Some specific questions, some general ones. I think it was a great overview about Mercateo and how it works. And I ask Miguel Crespo, Eduardo Henriques, and Luís Moura to turn on their cameras and join us again for the Q&A session, if they can. And I will start with a question from Cristina Araújo. She asks, when checking an offer, how can we identify the seller?
Yeah, you can't identify the seller. The seller is Mercateo. In the best case, all the customers are thinking that we have got a big European warehouse with millions of items, and nobody knows that we don't have any warehouse. It's a typical drop shipment. So the customers, or the supplier of the customer, is only Mercateo.
Okay. And Joana Costa asks, how do you promote Mercateo and find new companies and new sellers? I think you explained a little bit about that on your presentation, but how do you find new suppliers and new companies?
From the customer side, it's not so easy in the countries. Or in other words, in the past in Germany, we started with a lot of Google marketing. We did it in a very perfect way. At our early beginning in Germany, we were the first company which do that in this professional way. But a few years ago, it's too expensive to win new customers via Google. So we decided, no, we don't do that anymore. We do it in a directly way. We have got a sales department in Germany. We have got a sales department in different countries, and it's more a consulting role we have. We go to the customers. We explain our IT infrastructure and how to optimize the customers, how can optimize the customer the purchase process, and then we say, okay, and we are an IT company on the one hand, but we are also an online distributor with millions of items. If you implement Mercateo as an supplier, you can get all these items directly from one creditor. but it's in very, it's a typical consulting acquisition process. And on the other hand, from the supplier side, yes, we are looking on our categories, and then we can see, okay, we have got a good range of hard and software suppliers in the background, but we need, for example, occupational safety suppliers. So our focus for the next year is to have occupational suppliers, and to say, okay, we need especially a full range suppliers with a full range of the different relevant brands in this category. And then it's also an acquisition process. And to show the suppliers on the possibilities. Sometimes it's not so easy because, for example, the Spanish market is not the biggest market, but you have to see the potential, and then hopefully we can get together, and our supplier is a part of being the early bird.
But as you say, sometimes the buyer doesn't know who the supplier is exactly.
The customer don't know the supplier in the background. It doesn't matter for the customer at the end of the day, because the customer is willing to have a pen and copy paper with a competitive pricing and with good delivery times. So it doesn't matter if you are a supplier or another person or whatever. It depends on. It's important to have the item in a good competitive way.
Okay. Ana Varandas, in terms of categories, Ana Varandas asks, looking at the sales and categories percentages by type of products, it seems like an unrepresentative platform in the wine market. Am I right? She asks. She's probably from a wine company, and she's asking if the wine sector could be a possibility, or if it is unrepresented.
Yeah, in Germany, I think we have got one or two suppliers in the background delivering wine and also whiskey. It's not a typical B2B category. At first, you begin with hard and software because all the companies need a mouse pad or a laptop or whatever, and then you go more in details. But for sure, it makes also in B2B sense to have a good wine distributor in the background because of Christmas parties, because of business meetings in the evening, drinking a glass wine. A lot of customers, business customers, buys wine from Mercateo, and we are not so good, or we haven't got a good portfolio in Spain, France, and I think in Germany also the portfolio is not so good. So this could be maybe a good gap to fill.
And because you go directly to the companies, and just for company events maybe, or something, special events, right?
Yeah, but we don't offer our wine range. We say, okay, we have got a lot of items. We have got mousepad, and we have got also wine and whiskey and so on. And if you need these kind of items, it's not necessary for you to create a new accreditor in your system. Let's use Mercateo, and you can also get your wine via the digital purchase way. This could be a good solution, and wine is not the typical item you need every day in business.
Yeah. We have a question about another sector. Diana Neves asked, specifically concerning office and hospitality contract furniture market, which are the perspectives of business growing and opportunities medium term? Is there actual and viable room for new suppliers in these categories?
It depends a little bit on the situation. I can't say yes, it is, or no. It depends on the situation, and situation means it depends on different countries. In Germany, we have all the relevant or the world's greatest suppliers in this category. So it's hard to become a supplier in this product range in Germany. But I don't know the product range of of you. So maybe we need a closer look on your product range. Maybe there are some specific office supply items, and it could be also interesting in Germany, or maybe you have got some local brands which are not really presented in Germany, but it's your local hero office brand, and maybe this could be also a good chance to find the gap and to fill in. But yeah, it depends on the situation.
Because we have some questions about categories. What do you think are the most vibrant sectors in Mercato and the areas in which Portuguese companies could be more successful?
Yeah, this is not so easy. As I think some very interesting categories, especially for France and Spain, could be hardware and software, office supplies, industrial supplies, hand tools, and also occupational safety tools. These are very relevant, and electronic parts. These are very relevant categories for our customers. And yeah, our portfolio in these categories in Spain and France is not the best. So hopefully you can help us in these categories in these countries. And as I said, in Germany, maybe there's also a chance, but then we have to go more in detail, and then you need a very specific brand, or very high performance, thinking of the logistic, or you need a key performance, whatever it means.
Another question from Marcia Farinha: how do you advertise suppliers, and how do you make Mercato know to customers?
Yeah, as I said, in the past we did it with Google marketing, but now our focus is on our Unite platform. So it means we have an infrastructure, and one part of this infrastructure is Mercato as a distributor. And now we have a good sales team, and we have got a lot of big and medium customers. We act as a kind of consulting, and that's it. And we go to e-procurement meetings. We also make Google marketing, sure, but not in such professional way like we did in the past in Germany. And our goal is not to have all the customers, for example, in Spain. No, our goal is more to have maybe 100 specific big customers, and then to penetrate it, to say, okay, not only to use Mercato for one pen or for a bottle of wine, you can do that, yes, but use Mercato as an e-procurement solution, and involve also your existing suppliers. You have got direct relationship, and we can integrate these suppliers on our platform as well. And then you have got a full happy solution, which the suppliers from the customer involved, and also Mercato, and then the revenue will grow, especially for these customers. And this is our key focus, not to have all the customers all over the world. No, we need some specific customers, but then we have to develop it and to bring them to buy products regularly on our platform.
And you contact directly these big customers.
Exactly. Yeah. Not all of them. We need Google marketing, and we need big events like this. And yes, we need promotion and a lot of marketing things. Sure. But when we act as a kind of consulting company, we go directly to the customers. We have a closer look on the purchase process, and then we say, okay, we have got our own solution, or we have got partnerships with other e-commerce solutions like SAP Ariba. It's the world's greatest e-procurement solution, and we have got a partnership all over Europe. In North America, they do that with eBay. In Europe, we have the partnership, and it means that we integrate via interface, via API, our Mercateo solution with SAP Ariba, and the Ariba customers, when they don't find the product which they are looking for, they jump via interface on our platform to find the item and bring them back on the SAP system, and now the customer is able to buy an indirect spend item like a bottle of wine. So with these kinds of partnerships, we grow also in Spain and France, because there are big SAP Ariba customers who use the spot buy solution on SAP Ariba to jump to Mercateo to find indirect spend, to bring them back to SAP Ariba, and to buy it via the SAP Ariba system.
Mm-hmm. Another important subject is always logistics, and we have already some questions about logistics. João Muniz Dias asks, do the supplier defines the delivery time? Should the price that appear in Mercateo include the shipping and VAT and VAT?
What we do, you have got an electronic catalog with your items, and then you give us a purchase price, and then we calculate a selling price. It's our selling price, but you give us a purchase price, and you get the order with a purchase price, and then you can integrate delivery costs, maybe 10 euros per package, and we show it on our platform as 10 euro per package, and then you get an order which the delivery costs involved. And the VAT, the VAT, it's not shown on our platform because it's a B2B platform. It's not on all the prices you can see on our platform is without the VAT.
Mm-hmm. And another question about logistics. Do you offer any support relating logistics? You already answered in your presentation that you give some support concerning logistics, but could you explain better what kind of support the companies can have?
It's not really support to improve your logistics skills. On the one hand, you have a very good logistic, perfect, and when you don't have any logistic, maybe there's a possibility to say, okay, I have a very interesting product range, but I don't have any logistic, for example, in Germany. But I can advise, or I can say, okay, we have got 700 suppliers in the background, most of them located in Germany with a very high logistic competence. When you say, okay, I'm an office supplier, but I haven't any logistic in Germany, maybe we can build a bridge between our distributor in Germany to say, okay, here is the logistic, and you have the items, and maybe we can bring both of them together to say, okay, let's have a partnership, and maybe you can deliver Mercateo customers via this distributor located in Germany, and he handle the items as a logistic with a logistic competence, and you bring interesting new items, but not directly on our platform. You give it to the distributor, and then the distributor fill these items in the electronic catalog. So
the ideal situation is to have the company present in the country and all the logistic system.
Also the best thing you can do is to have a company in the country and to have a very big logistics center. But it's not important to have the logistic directly in, for example, in Germany. We have some suppliers which are located in Germany, but the logistic center is centrally located in, I don't know, in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. So this is for us. It's important that that it is a very good logistic. It doesn't matter if it's located in the Netherlands or in Germany or wherever, but it's important to have a subsidiary in Germany regarding the legal requirements and the reporting, as I said a few slides ago. This is the most important thing. Otherwise, we have to do that, and we can't handle that with millions of items and 40 countries.
And it's difficult. Another question is about the payment methods and the payment terms. Katia Costa asks, one of the inconveniences of e-commerce is the payment terms. It is always advanced payment. Does Mercato brings any more advantageous conditions in this field?
Yeah, well, we have got standardized payment terms, 30 days. Yeah, but it's negotiable. It depends on the market. In Germany, we have got 45 days as a standard framework agreement, and it's totally necessary because on the other hand, we have got a very big customers in the background, and they have a long payment terms, sometimes 90 or 120 days. So for us, it's very important, on the other hand, to have suppliers with also longer payment terms. Yeah, in the countries, it's not so strict, yeah, but the standard payment term is 30 days.
Okay, so it's an advantage, as she asks. Dulce Dias asks one thing that you, I think, almost already answered, but she has, do you also provide support to find the distributors in the country?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. We have a lot of contact. I can't promise anything, but I'm willing to help you thinking of getting in touch with interesting logistic distributors in the countries. We have a lot of contacts there, and then let's have a closer look on your portfolio, and then to bring maybe some interesting distributors together with you, and yeah, and then it's up to you.
Another question from Rui Guedes goes in the same direction. Can you elaborate what is your positioning as distributor if the manufacturer supplier has to deal with all the bureaucracies? It is more a lead generation aggregating the demand as a single client than actually distributor, correct? The question is, I think the question is, he has you to elaborate what is your positioning, and if the manufacturer supplier have to deal with all the bureaucracies.
Yeah, it's sometimes not so easy. It's exactly the reason why we want to have distributors located in the country. The normal process is at the beginning there's a manufacturer. And normally the manufacturer has got some distributors, which brings all the items in a logistic way in the world. and we are willing to get in touch with both of them. At first with a distributor to have a very wide range of products and not only one specific brand. And then to get in touch also with the manufacturers, not really from the logistic point of view, more to say, okay, dear manufacturer, let's give us a kind of content catalog, because it's very important to show the items in a very, very good way on our platform. And the best way is to ask directly the manufacturer, please give us the pictures and give us a short and long description of the items. And maybe we can do some marketing things. And in the background, we have got a lot of distributors which have handled these items in a logistic way. This is a typical, and then it's important where the distributor is located. And the distributor is, I lost the English word, responsible for the local law requirements and whatever.
Mm-hmm. And we have another new subject, important subject, I guess. What about customer returns? How do they work? A question from Ingrid van Steyen. I hope I'm pronouncing the name well. The customer return, how does it work?
There are differences between B2C and B2B. Mm-hmm. And B2C, it's very hard to handle that. And B2B, it's quite easy when there is no reason why regarding sending back the item. As for example, the item is broken or whatever. There is no reason why you can give it back. You can show it on our platform. You can say, okay, it's not the law, but I do that as a supplier, so it's good for our customers. So maybe you can get more orders because there's a possibility to give it back. It's very important for occupational safety items. Yeah, for example, safety shoes. You have to wear it, and then you say, okay, it's good or it's not good. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's in the area of what is the law of the different countries, and when the items are damaged, as of course the customer has got the possibility to send them back. And on the other hand, no chance. And these are the differences between B2C and B2B.
And B2B, it's easier in B2B, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy, and the normal business is no customer buys some items to say, okay, I don't like the color of this pen, I want to give it back and I want another one. It's not the typical situation in B2B business. They know what they want, and then they buy that and use it, and that's it.
Another question from Pelin Goran. We are an injection molding company of plastic parts, and we work according to clients' projects and needs. We don't sell any specific items. Does the market have a segment for this type of market or sector?
Yeah, it's very specific, but I don't really understood it. Are there any standardized items he handle, or or in other words, for us, it's totally possible to handle or to show standardized items on our platform. But when it's necessary to explain the items, or when it's more in service and not really a standardized item, it's not necessary to build it up on our platform as Mercateo shop, because we are the supplier and we don't know what it is. But maybe this could be a chance to make business on our Unite platform, because there are a lot of suppliers getting in touch directly with the customers, explaining the product and the services behind, and the customer knows when I push the button on this item number, I get a special service, whatever, and nobody knows what it is, only these special suppliers. It's a one-to-one connection. Maybe this could be a possibility.
I was thinking about an area or for these special services, or this is very, very specific and it will be very difficult to have in the marketplace.
Yeah, it's not our business on the Mercateo shop side. It's more the Unite side, and then we have to go more in detail, and maybe there's a chance.
Another question, and now about the costs. Are there any other costs involved besides the fee for setting up the account and monthly membership? Talking about what supplier pays to Mercato.
No, there are no any additional costs. You have got the fixed costs creating the electronic catalog. It's for Germany, not for France and Spain, as I said. And you have got the monthly fee, and that's it. And then you give us a purchase price, and we have got a sales price, and the difference between them is our trading revenue money. There are no order fees or whatever. We don't have anything like that.
And already about the costs, how do you guarantee buyers from the sellers? Because 10,000 euros must have a return.
Yeah, totally. The best way we do is to to go more in detail, to analyze the potential, to say, okay, please give us a test catalog. Then we put this catalog in our system. We analyze how competitive is the pricing of the supplier. What is the situation? Are there a lot of suppliers in the background which handle the same items? What is the potential, especially for you as a supplier? And then we put all the informations together, and then we decide, makes it sense to invest 10,000 euros from the supplier side, and what could be the revenue in the near future, or doesn't make it sense. And this is what we do before we sign the agreement, and then we have a decision. I'm on your side. It's hard to pay 10,000 euros and to say, oh, okay, when can I back the money? But be sure we go very, very in detail, and then we have a good basis to make a decision.
Mm-hmm. And the costs are a subject, a very important subject for our participants. The Valente Manuel asks if the price given to Mercato in the catalog is the B2B price. What is the Mercato margin?
The price in the e-catalog is our purchase price. You say, okay, I've got, for example, 10,000 items, and I fill in all the prices you are willing to give us as a purchase price. And then we take the catalog and bring it on our platform and calculate our selling price. And you are, and it's not written in stone. Some prices change day by day. A lot of suppliers said, okay, let's have a closer look on the price structure. Maybe we can give Mercato a lower or a higher price, and then we will see how does it work. It's not written in stone, and it's not written in an agreement. What we want is a competitive pricing, because when you don't give us a competitive purchase price, we are not able to sell it in a competitive way. So we don't do business, and it's absurd for all of us. The goal is give us a competitive price. Then we have
a kind of combination between Mercato and suppliers, or
absolutely. And then we can analyze it. What is the structure? It depends a little bit on the supplier situation. It depends a little bit on the customer structure. And there are a lot of typical things we have to analyze, and then we find a good way in the middle. It's good for you to live, and it's good for us to live.
Rodrigo Ferreira asks if you can ask you to detail a bit more about the Mercato consumer acquisition strategy. In your opinion, which channels work better to attract new B2B buyers?
There's no clear answer. I think in Europe we are the most relevant B2B platform in Europe. Yes, I know there's also Amazon and Amazon Business, but there are big differences between Amazon and Amazon Business. It's quite it's very difficult to make business in a B2B area. There are a lot of functionalities you don't need for B2C. So I think to work with us together, the risk is minimal, because especially in France or in Spain, you have to create an electronic catalog. There are not a lot of costs. There are no costs at the moment. We have got a good partnership, and then we can develop it together in the B2B sector. And there is no marketplace all over Europe which is bigger than Mercateo. There are a lot of marketplaces in Spain which are bigger than Mercateo, and in France, but all over Europe as a bundle, there is no bigger marketplace, and we have 20 years experiences in this area. And this is the potential, and the risk is, from my point of view, minimal. And in other marketplaces, the companies analyze what are the running items, and then they do it by his own. And we don't do that because we don't have any warehouse. We have got a partnership. You are our warehouse, and we have got the infrastructure, and let's do it together. And it doesn't work when we do it by our own, and it doesn't work when you try to do business in an e-commerce area. So it's a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned your presence in different markets. We have here France and Spain. What are the main differences between the various markets and these specific markets?
The differences are the legal requirements. The French market, how can I say, it's sometimes a little bit horrible for us. This is the first thing I have in mind. So it's not very helpful for the suppliers, but when you ask me directly, I can say the legal requirements in France are, for us, are so horrible.
I don't know if Eduardo will like to add something about that, or if you agree with this.
Unfortunately, I agree with Steffen, but regardless of this point, it is very important, but it's a very important market and a very huge potential. So we have to take this into account, but it's not that difficult. Well, it's manageable at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's exactly what Eduardo said. It's in a very high potential market, and in Europe, it's yes, maybe Germany is the biggest market in Europe, maybe, but there is a big diversity of different customers, and I think this is a little bit these are the differences between the markets. But on the other hand, it depends a little bit on our customer structure, and when there are a lot of SAP Ariba big customers using Ariba Spot Buy in Spain, so the potential is it's also very, very big. So it depends on the situation.
Well, we are almost running out of time, but we still have time for one more question. Luís Felipe asks will there be any training of Mercato Unite? Since we are producers, not selling any specific article, it will be a good idea to know this side of Mercato better. I think your answer will be to contact you directly, maybe, but could you specify and say something more about Mercato Unite and this question?
Maybe I can jump back on the slides here. Yeah, there are a lot of informations regarding Unite. It's not so easy to bring it on the point. But the most relevant point is, to have a closer look on this curve. And when we talk about Unite, we are on the left and the middle side, and it means that we, as a supplier, we are not a part of them. We only give, we only have the infrastructure, and give all the suppliers and manufacturers the possibility to be a part of this network, and all the customers are invited to get in touch directly with these suppliers. It's a little bit like Facebook. Here I am, and let's be a friend of you. In a B2B way, and then you have got contact directly with the customer to talk about specificas and services, and but when you handle the orders and when you need an order or whatever, or you do it in this digital area, and so we create we call it a business shop for all the different suppliers and manufacturers, and the business shop is a kind of tool you need and to bring you in a position that customers can say, okay, there's a business shop from this specific supplier. I want to get in touch with this supplier, so it's click on the button, and then you have it on your e-procurement system, and then you can get in touch directly with the supplier to say, okay, I clicked the button, you are integrated in my e-procurement system, for example, named Mercateo e-procurement system or SAP Ariba or whatever. And then let's clarify all the details. But it's a little bit abstract, I know. and the best way could be to get directly in contact, and then there's also the chance to make such web meeting, especially for the Unite topics. It's absolutely necessary.
Thank you, Steffen. And just to finish our session, do you feel that this pandemic context have been a huge impact in e-procurement and the B2B business? How do you see as a marketplace responsible?
Yeah, absolutely. For example, thinking of home office, everybody needs a laptop at home and a mouse and the webcam, and the revenue, especially regarding these items on our platform, is growing so much. Things are changing, especially regarding doing things at home via web conference and ordering some items, not in a manual way, going on the internet and ordering maybe a copy paper and the bottle of wine. So for short, yes, there is a big impact thinking of the pandemic, and I think it's.
And for some specific products, it could be a moment.
At the moment, for sure. Home office equipment and occupational safety things like I don't know the English word, the mask.
Okay. So this session is coming to the end. Thank you very much for your presentation and for your all presentations. And for the relevant information for companies who want to know more and maybe prepare their presence in Mercateo. Just a few words in Portuguese to say goodbye. Obrigada a todos pela vossa participação. A AICEP vai continuar a organizar webinars sobre vários temas. Para o próximo dia 17 está já prevista uma sessão sobre o setor do calçado, na Polónia e na Hungria. Continuem a contatar-nos e a acompanhar-nos em portugalexporta.pt. Obrigada e até breve. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.